Look, I can't stand Rachel Zegler as much as the next guy.
Weird, weird.
But even I have to admit, she did a pretty damn good job in this movie. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the long-awaited prequel to The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. But before we get started, you know exactly what to do. If I've earned it at the end of the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you never miss any of my new reviews. Now let's get into it. Now bear with me, because this is a long-ass movie and there is a lot to unpack before we even get into the plot. So the breakdown is going to be a little longer on this one than it usually is. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes gives the backstory of President Coriolanus Snow, a guy that is such an asshole he has the word anus literally in his name. But he wasn't always that way, as we find out when we pick up with 18-year-old Snow, played by Tom Blythe, living with his grandmother, played by Finola Flanagan, and his cousin Tigress, played by Hunter Schafer. It's been 10 years since the Panem War ended and the Hunger Games were put in place to keep the districts in check. Snow and his family are living in the capital and are basically penniless, so he's busting his ass at the Capital Academy to make the highest marks possible so that he can win the Plinth Prize, a large cash prize that will help him get into the Capital University and take care of his family. The winner of this prize is always announced on the annual reaping, but when Snow and his classmates, including his only friend, the very wealthy Sejanus, wow, another name with anus in it, played by Josh Andre Rivera, the son of the wealthy prince who the prize is named after, gather to watch, they hear some troubling news from Academy Dean, Castor Highbottom, played by Peter Dinklage. He lets the students know that unfortunately the Plinth Prize will not be going to the student with the highest mark this year, but rather that every student in Snow's class will be assigned to mentor a tribute in the Hunger Games to make them into a spectacle and draw people in to watch the 10th annual Hunger Games because the last few haven't really had that high of ratings.
There has been a change this year. As a mentor, Mr. Snow, your role is to turn these children into spectacles, not survivors.
So, Snow is assigned to a fiery, rebellious teenager with a heart of gold and a great singing voice, Lucy Gray Beard, played by everybody's favorite actress, Rachel Zegler.
I get stopped for photos every time I'm online for the Snow White ride, and it is I have to pretend like, oh God, oh crazy.
Everyone wants you to shut up.
And yet I won't.
What starts as Snow doing everything that he can to make Panem fall in love with Lucy Gray because he just wants to win that Plinth Prize eventually evolves into a romance, forcing Snow to choose where his loyalties lie. With the Capitol, or with Lucy Gray in District 12. Oh, and looming over this entire story is the evil, creepy as hell game maker, Dr. Gall, played by the always fantastic Viola Davis, who essentially plays the devil on Snow's shoulder, pushing him farther and farther away from his kind-hearted love and support of his family and friends, and more towards the corruption of the Capitol. That was a lot. But this movie is over 2.5 hours, and I didn't even cover half of the plot. Now, before I say anything positive about this film, let me get my biggest complaint out of the way. If you see my reviews, you know that I'm totally fine with long movies, especially if they're paced well. And I understand that this is based on a pretty long book that is broken up into 3 parts. But at almost 2 hours and 40 minutes, this movie just feels really long.
How long is this going to take?
Especially after we get through the 10th annual Hunger Games. It's all great stuff that does a really fantastic job fleshing out Snow and helping you realize what led him to become the tyrant that we hate from those other movies. And from what I hear from those who read the book, especially my sister, this is like a 1-to-1 adaptation. But I do think that some things could have either been cut or shortened a little bit just to make it flow a little faster, especially in that last act. For example, I mentioned that Lucy Gray Baird is a singer, and there are several song numbers in this movie. 1 or 2 of them could have been cut just to lower the runtime a little bit. After a while, it kind of just felt like they were there to eat up runtime. I also would have liked to see more between Snow, Tigress, and their grandmother. Outside of the beginning, they're not really there that much, even though Snow keeps talking about them. It would have been nice to see them a little more, just to understand exactly why Snow needs to help them so much. But really, those are my only real complaints, aside from a couple of references to the original that were pretty on the nose and made me roll my eyes. But overall, putting those complaints aside, as a fan of the original movies, I can say that I really enjoyed this. Francis Lawrence's direction picks up right where he left off with Mockingjay Part 2. When we see the Capitol, though it's still the oppressive, larger-than-life center of greed and tyranny, it's not quite as excessively colorful and, well, weird as we see in the original films. Instead of people walking around in massive, flamboyant dresses with prosthetics and ridiculous amounts of makeup, this Capitol feels a lot more grounded in reality. And when we do get a glimpse into District 12, Lawrence and the rest of the crew did a great job recreating District 12 from the originals, but de-aging it about 65 years, leaving you with a familiar feeling even though it looks a little different, and knowing that this district is definitely going to go through a lot more hell to get through what we've seen in the other movies.
I hate it here.
And though it has none of the futuristic technological advances and environmental threats that made the arenas from the original movie so terrifying, the Hunger Games arena in this one is terrifying in a different way. It feels like a concrete wasteland, yeah, but it is so ridiculously claustrophobic, with hardly anywhere for the tributes to hide, making sure the audience knows that there's only so long that you can run for before you have to fight. The cinematography takes this and runs with it, leaving me breathless during every scene in the Hunger Games, in awe of the cozy, homey beauty that can be pulled from a mining district, and amazed by the effective contrast that comes from the grand, beautiful architecture of the Capitol compared to the horrible corruption that takes place inside of it.
It's corrupt. It's literally the definition of corrupt.
Moving on to the acting, man, does Tom Blythe kill it as Coriolanus Snow. It helps that the script gives him so much great material to work with, but Blythe truly brings his A-game to this role, leaving me completely emotionally wrapped up in this desperate performance of a young man who wants to do right by his family, his late father, and his country, even though those three don't always blend together, and he feels like the ones that love him the most are trying to pull him away from his loyalties. The way he internally and externally deals with this war within himself is honestly heartbreaking to see, and when he starts to develop feelings for Lucy Gray and is willing to do whatever he can to help her win the games, it just leaves you even more invested in his performance, complemented by the palpable chemistry that he has with Rachel Zegler. Yeah, I know we all can't stand that entitled brat with a bad attitude, but just like I said in the beginning, Rachel Zegler did a damn good job here.
Well, I'm not happy about it either.
As much as I love Katniss as a character and how well she's written, from the moment Lucy Gray is introduced, she's kind of already more of an interesting character with her fiery, alluring personality, along with the fact that she has an amazing singing voice. Though, like I said earlier, there's one or two too many musical numbers that draw out the length here, Zegler gives it her all, and I'm not gonna lie, some of those songs were pretty touching. She even does a great job with that southern twang in Lucy Gray's voice. It never felt forced or weird coming from Zegler.
Weird.
Enough! If I have to hear that one more time. Right away when she's introduced, Lucy Gray is someone that you want to root for. And the chemistry between her and Tom Blythe really makes this worth the watch. And eventually, when things aren't exactly great between them and tensions start to rise, the movie really rips out your f***ing heart. While I'm talking about performances, I've got a really big surprise for you. Peter Dinklage and Viola Davis were fantastic in this movie.
I am, of course, shocked.
Though I wish we would have seen a bit more from Dean Highbottom, especially considering a certain revelation about the character that completely comes out of nowhere, Dinklage still knows how to take command of the screen, and his seemingly random hatred for Snow and his family make him a character that you love to hate, but never to the point where you can't stand him. He's always enjoyable to watch on screen.
You hear that, boy? It's the sound of snow falling.
Davis, on the other hand, instead of just being a bit of a dick like Dinklage's character, plays into the creep and evil factor incredibly well as Dr. Gall, leaving an unpredictable tension every time she's on screen, along with some truly despicable acts that makes her just another fantastic antagonist here, especially when she starts using her power and manipulative tendencies to start pushing Snow towards corruption.
What happens in there, fueled with the terror of becoming prey. See how quickly we become predator?
And the last major character I want to talk about here is Josh Andres Rivera's Sejanus Plinth. Don't laugh.
I know.
He's really a great character, a voice for all the districts within the capital that, thanks to his family's power and influence, is never afraid to speak his mind about the atrocities that everybody tends to ignore in favor of the spectacle.
You monsters! All of you!
And when Snow begins to work more with Dr. Gall, the character conflict and drama that arises between the two just left me even more invested in this movie. One last standout is a side character, the son of Stanley Tucci's Caesar Flickerman from the original films, and that's Jason Schwartzman as Lucky Flickerman.
I'm Lucky Flickerman, first ever host of the Hunger Games.
He's not quite as bombastic and eccentric as Caesar,
I love her! The girl on fire so cheeky.
but he brings his own suave charm and twisted sense of humor that left me smiling or chuckling every time he was on screen. I don't really have much else to say about this film, so I guess I'll wrap it up. Overall, though it's too long, a tad underwritten in a few places, and has one or two too many musical numbers, this is an incredibly solid prequel and a really faithful adaptation from what I hear. With a good script, a truly terrific A-list cast, even if one of them deserves to sit out of Hollywood for a while, anchored by a career-defining performance from Tom Blythe and a strong performance from Rachel Zegler, great chemistry between the leads, strong cinematography, effective CGI, a catchy soundtrack and epic score, and an amazing villain in Viola Davis. And that's my review of The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this review, you know exactly what to do. I said it in the beginning. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so that you never miss any of my new reviews. While you're at it, you can scroll down to the description, find the links to my socials, and leave a comment. Let me know if you saw the movie and what you thought. And if you want more of my content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. They'll take you to my review of the Marvels, or just over to my channel where you can check out my reviews, my shorts, and my old shit. Thanks, baby. See you next time for my review of Eli Roth's short fake horror trailer from Grindhouse turned into a feature-length film Thanksgiving. My review is going to come the week after Thanksgiving, but I am so excited for this movie, I don't really care. See ya!